Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash, and welcome to KBO and NPB baseball. NPB being in Japan and KBO being in South Korea. Well, I normally say KBO baseball, but I'm just going to call it the KBO sweep because we are absolutely sizzling. Now, first of all, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means that we will notify you and you will never miss any content again. And if you press the link in the description, then that will take you over to Jay's articles where he might just give you a different slant on what you're going to hear in the next 25 to 30 minutes. Also, a big welcome to everyone who joins us in the chat on YouTube, but also to our viewers on Facebook Live. Now, if you want to join in the chat, then you're going to have to switch over to YouTube and come over to the SBR Sports Pick channel, and we'd love to have you in there. And if you have come across, then drop us a little note in the chat, and we'll welcome you. And we really appreciate all of the support. That 197 likes. I know that Jay's got his magic figure of 200. He can't wait for 200 thumbs up. I think he's probably going to throw a party, but as he's on lockdown, there'll only be 3 people at the table. Jay, great job yesterday, mate.
Yeah, lots of fun. It's been a crazy week. Early in the mornings, both these 2 games, getting easy wins to start the day and then harder wins to finish off the morning. So it's been a lot of fun. The community's putting together all the work together, and we're making it happen.
Yes, and that's what it's all about, is teamwork, and that's why the people in the chat, they come up with some absolute blinders. I know that we've had Randy on already, who's got involved in the Dinos game that we'll talk about a little bit later, but he jumped on it as soon as the market opened. He found an angle, and I think that we're going to give him the thumbs up on that angle. Listen, let's not mess about, because we're live, so that means that people can go and get their lines and get the value before everybody else does who wants to watch this video and play catch up. So let's just go straight into the KBO. It's game 3 of 3. Then we're going to go Wyverns and the Bears delivered.
Yeah, the Bears got the minus 1.5, and now they're minus 1.5 again, but the juice is at minus 180. So really, the odds makers know how big of a mismatch this pitching matchup is. Chris Flexen on the mound for the Deucin Bears, a 3.86 ERA and a 3.39 FIP. Going up against Baystars Gion of SK, has a 7 ERA and a 10.37 FIP. Only played 3 games, started in 1 game. He played against the Deucin Bears earlier this season, and he allowed 2 solo homers in 2.1 innings in relief in that game. Yeah, I like the Bears minus 1.5 as an official play at minus 180. Sure, the juice is high, but this is a huge differential in the pitching matchup. We got a guy with a 10.37 FIP. The Bears already saw him going up against Chris Flexen. Flexen's 1-0 in 2 games versus SK. Had a quality start in his last outing. Looked fine against SK. Should be fine coming off of a win against the Lafayette Giants in his last start. I like the Deucin here. If, however, you don't want to take that minus 180 risk at minus 1.5, the Deucin team total at 6.5. It's a little high for me at 6 runs. They only scored 7 this morning. Going up against Baystars Gion, you'd think that they'd be able to score 7 or more runs in that game. So Deucin team total at 6.5 if you don't want to go to minus 1.5 at minus 180.
So is that official?
Official play minus 1.5 for the Bears.
Excellent. Love it. First game up, official. KBO, sweet. We love it. Absolutely. Let's move on to the Eagles and the Wiz. Yeah, okay. They did all right yesterday, the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles got the win over the KT Wiz. And this was the one game that we kind of just shied away from, that I was kind of nervous of picking either side because I really didn't know how this game would go. I'm happy I did that because the Handle Eagles came out victorious. I got another official play in this game. I like the under 5.5 in the first 5 innings at about minus 115 for this game with Cuevas and Minwoo on the mound. This was the same exact matchup on June 27th between Minwoo and Cuevas. There were actually 5 runs in the first 5 innings, and both pitchers pitched pretty well in that game. Again, Minwoo now, last 2 games that he started, he's 10.1 innings, allowed just 1 run in those 2 games. So each game he's went about 5 innings or a little bit over 5 innings. So we cut that game at 5 innings. We don't have to worry about that Handle Eagles bullpen. And then for the KT side, Cuevas, he's 3-0 in his last 4 starts. He had 1 pretty bad outing against Kiwoom, which was, a start before his last start. That Kiwoom, they were a really good offense at the time, but Cuevas was a lot better since coming back from his injury, which he was gone for a month. So you got Cuevas, who's 3-0 in his last 4 You have Minwoo, who in his last 2 games, he's only allowed 1 run in 10.1 innings pitched. I like the under, the 5.5 in the first 5 for this one as an official play. If you wanted to lean on a certain team, it would be KT at minus 1.5. I do think KT will end up kind of scoring late in this game over the Hanwha Eagles and not, and winning the series against Hanwha in this one. So KT, I'd recommend for them to win this game, but I like the under in the first 5.5 at minus 115 as the official play.
Yeah, I love the way that we're mixing it up. First 5. I know you're going to mix it up a little bit more. Team totals, handicaps, straight money lines. Dan Mayer says, hey, Flash, I'm here. I'm on time today. Listen, you know the score. You get here on time. You get the value. That's why we're moving it a little bit earlier, so that as soon as them lines come out, we jump on them like a rabbit. Now, also, we've got Source Sensei saying, Flash, your head's shining. It's the climate. It's the climate. My hair just grows so quickly, only in like certain places, but I have to shave my head, and obviously the lights and that are enjoying it. And also I would steer clear of the Eagles, because the next round of matches, the games, they play the Twins, and I fancy the Twins will beat them 3-0. So just sit tight and wait, and you can fade the Eagles at your mercy, just as you please. Okay, we're going to go with the Twins and the Giants, Jay.
Yeah, so like you were just talking about how the Twins, they're starting to kind of get a little bit better here. I have another official play on this one as well. The Twins are around minus 150 on the money line. We took them this morning at plus 100. Some of you guys took it at minus 110 or whatever as slight underdogs, but the Twins got the easy win. It was like 9-3 or something like that in the score. So again, I like the Twins to get this series win over the LT Giants here. Jung Chan-Hyun on the mound for the LG Twins. He's got 6 quality starts in his last 6 starts. So he lost his first game of his season, and he won, and he's had quality start in all of his last 6 starts. He has 2.62 ERA, a 3.52 FIP, 42 strikeouts, and just 10 walks throughout 7 starts this season. He's looked phenomenal, going up against Jangwon Sam of Lotte, who has a 7.2 ERA, a 6.45 FIP in 3 games started so far. Just has 4 strikeouts and 4 walks in those 3 games. Doesn't look nearly as effective compared to Jung Chan-Hyun. And again, we talked about the LG Twins. They perform really well on the road. They have a winning record at home on the road, while the Lucky Giants have a winning record at home as well. The LG Twins are a much better team, and you'll see that as they start to progress and get better. Since they falter a little bit, they'll come back. They'll be up there in the playoffs, and when the playoff time comes. And the LG Twins are not going to be losing these games to Lucky Giants or the bottom tier of teams.
No, I couldn't agree more. I think we called it very early on. You're looking at the Dinos, you're looking at the Bears, and you're looking at the Twins for me. I think the Heroes might be the ones that start to fade away because they've had an unbelievable ride. Talking about unbelievable rides, we'll go to the Heroes now. The Dinos and the Heroes. The Dinos lead 2 games over the Heroes, and the Heroes have schooled them 2-0 in the last 2 days. Can they make it 3-0? It ain't often the Dinos get beat 3-0 in a series, Jay.
Yeah, the Dinos looked okay at the beginning of the game. Then the bullpen came in and blew the game, and Kiwoom got the win, got the series win already. Now they're going to look for their 3rd game, their sweep of the series. But Drew Ruzinski on the mound for the Dinos, and Ruzinski, we talked about him as one of the premier pitchers in the KBO, has a 2.24 ERA and a 3.88 FIP, 68 strikeouts and just 23 walks on the season. He's 8-1 on the season as well. He's been lights out in his last 4, got 4 straight wins on the season. He's allowed just 5 earned runs in those last 4 games. And then Moon Seung Hyun going up for Kiwoom. His longest outing of the season was just 3 innings. So this is mainly a Kiwoom bullpen game. And you would expect the Dinos to be able to perform against the Kiwoom bullpen, even though the Kiwoom bullpen has performed and they've been okay. Recently they did struggle against Kia in the series before. I like the Dinos to potentially score some runs in this one, but I don't think it'll be early in the game. I think it'll be kind of later in the game once Moon Seung Hyun comes out of the game. So I look at under 3.5 in the first 3 innings at minus 150. Moon Seung Hyun hasn't been that bad in his relief outings and his starts this season. In his 1 start this season, has a 1.59 ERA but a 4.22 FIP. So I'm banking on Ruzinski having a solid outing like he always does, and Moon Seung Hyun coming in there, pitching a solid 3 innings, and then going back to the bullpen for the rest of the game. So this is a lean for me, but if you want a little angle in this game, I like the under 3.5 in the first 3 innings at minus 150. And then I think the Dinos will pull away in the game, where I would look at Dinos over 5.5 in their team total. But that team total could even drop to maybe 4.5 once it's in the 3rd inning or the 4th inning. So you don't need to take it right away. Maybe live it unless you're sleeping and you can't do it live.
Okay, I'm going to have to do a bit of housekeeping here. First of all, you get all excited about under 3.5 in the first 3 innings at minus 150. And then you mention lean. Hey, you got to get rid of that because you get people all excited. Now, listen, and listen. There's plenty of people in the chat. They just do your parlay of all your leans anyway because they've come up trumps as well. Now, Robert Dangello says that he's got to be in search of new books because he's not getting the right lines. Then go over to sportsbookreview.com, Robert, and you will have about 10 different books. Sign up with them all. Make sure you get the value. One of them, and there will be a time when you can bet one and then bet the other team on a different book, and there's like a 10% margin that you cannot fail to pick up. So we're going to go with under 3.5 in the first 3. Now, also, Randy got up at the chickens woke him up this morning with these lines, and he's gone under 6 in the first 5. I mean, we like that, Jay, and we've got to give him a thumbs up, and we're with you. I mean, I think you, early bird catches the worm. You know I like my worms. Okay, move on. Tigers and the Lions, Jay. Tigers, do we know what we're going to get from them?
We don't, because the funny thing is, Yang Hyun Jung on the mound for Kia, he had an incredible season last year, had a 2.29 ERA, an FIP below 2.6. It was incredible, one of the better pitchers in the league last season. Well, this year, a 5.65 ERA and a 4.8 FIP. And we're just sitting here waiting for him to get going and figure it out and have a good outing and have a stretch of good outings like he did last season. So I like Kia here as a lean at minus 182, kind of high for a guy like Hyun Jung who hasn't performed how he did last season. But he's going up against Yoon Dong of Samsung. He's got 17 walks and just 13 strikeouts, a 4.15 ERA, and a 6.15 FIP. He was so bad in his last start. He only completed 1 inning, left after 42 pitches, allowed a couple of runs, and that was the end of his day. The rookie pitcher has been really lucky throughout the entire season. And the Kia Tigers are offensively, they've looked really good. They're hitting the ball really hard, hit really long as well. They're hitting big shots, especially at Samsung Ballpark, which is a hitter-friendly ballpark. Yeah, I like Kia at minus 182. I'd even look at over 10.5 in this matchup. But there's other games that I'd rather on this slate, and I'm not going to touch this one because it's a little more risky compared to the other ones.
Yeah, listen, sometimes it's best to pass. Pass is never a problem. You have your little leans, you give them the information. But listen, the people in the chat, they're saying, Jay's leans, they're like official plays anyway. Robert, yeah, we like the thumbs up. Now remember, if you are watching on Facebook Live, then come across, have a little bit of the chat. We're loving it. We've got 64 watching on YouTube at the moment, and we've already got 33 thumbs up. We're going to try and hit 200. We are going to try and hit 200. If you are watching us on Facebook Live, then remember, you can join us maybe tomorrow. It'll be exactly the same time, and we're on YouTube, and that's the SBR Sports Pick channel. Now let's go official plays, please, in the KBO. Jay, you got me all running away.
Yeah, so we're going to go with the first 5.5, under 5.5 in the first 5, at minus 115 for the KT Wiz and Hanwha Eagles game. We'll look at the Twins at minus 150 against the Lockheed Giants. And then lastly, we'll look at the Bears at minus 1.5 at minus 180 juice against the SK Wyverns.
Okay, and Daniel Pacheco saying play parlays, bankers. He's such a greedy man, you know. You give him 3 or 4 tips, they're all bankers. He sticks them in a parlay and he just comes up with the big green cash the next day. So do you have a favourite, or are they all just strong because they're official, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do a parlay, obviously the Bears are a great parlay piece. However, they might be minus 400 by the time but by the time you guys look at the screen, that's how much they're going up right now. So
yeah, minus 1.5.
I like the Bears, obviously, to win this one.
Yeah, give them a handicap.
Yeah. So I like the Bears at this. I like the Bears in this one. Also, I like the Twins to get the series win. So if you want to get the Bears and the Twins as a parlay, completely fine. But like I always say, all the plays that I give you are plays I 100% believe in, or I wouldn't be giving you them. So they're all bankers in my eye. But yeah.
They're all bankers. We're loving that. He's ditching the lean. We're just going to forget the lean. We might just the L word. We might ban it. We'll maybe give it a couple of days and see how we get on, because a lot of people they just, it's interpretation. Jay's language is lean, and in the language of the punter and the pick, banker. That's what we like. That's what we like. Banker, official banker. Okay, let's kick on, and it's going to be the Pacific in the NPB. Buffaloes and the Hawks. I can't have the Buffaloes, Jay. I don't care. Win, lose, draw. I cannot have the Buffaloes.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you here, because right now, the first two games of the series, the differential of score has been 17-3 in those first two games. The SoftBank Hawks have looked really good, and the Buffaloes, they're playing like they're playing the Marines, right? They're looking like they're going to get swept. They've looked really outmatched in these first two games. So my official play on this one is SoftBank at minus 1.5 at around minus 120. This is the first time I've ever done a minus 1.5 handicap in the NPB so far on the season. So here we are. This is a new century mark for me. SoftBank minus 1.5 at minus 120. I'd also lean towards under 8 in this matchup. Rick Van Den Herk on the mound for SoftBank. Van Den Herk, he's 42-18 in his NPB career. Although he struggled recently, has a 6.38 ERA. He's allowed 14 runs in 18.1 innings, has 15 strikeouts and 6 walks with 2 home runs with a 1.25 whip. Everything else kind of is showing that he's kind of been the same. His strikeout numbers are the same. His walk ratio is the same. His hits per 9 is just 1 higher than usual. So everything's he's not really performing too bad. Just a little bit unlucky. I think that he'll perform a lot better against the Oryx Buffaloes, who are one of the worst offenses in the NPB this season. Going up against Tachiya Yamazaki. Yamazaki is 10-17 in his NPB career with a 4.29 career ERA. Already has a 4.5 ERA in 2 games started this season. Allowed 7 runs on 8 hits and 10 innings pitched. Has a 1.6 whip in those 2 games. So, yeah, I like SoftBank here at minus 1.5, minus 120. It's a big mismatch with these two teams right now.
And that's official?
Official.
Yeah, you're hardly jumping off the like the top board into a shallow end. I mean, listen, you are cruising with the Hawks at minus 1.5, which is minus 125. Let's get on to the Eagles and the Lions. They were rained out 2 days ago, and I said to you yesterday that the Eagles would be back. And I tell you what a drubbing they gave them boys.
Yeah, we had the Eagles. We first had said that, we think that they'll do money line. Then we saw the line, and we're like, all right, the team total is just a little bit better. So why not take the team total? Well, they scored 5 runs in 4 innings, and that was that. Then they scored a ton more later in the game. They're home again, and they're 10-3 at home. So, of course, I like the Rakuten Eagles here at minus 182. But, again, they're now over 4.5 for their team total again in this game. I really believe that they'll be able to score 5 or more runs. Especially they've been so good at home scoring runs. So instead of taking Rakuten at minus 182, I'll just look at the over 4.5 for Rakuten on the team total, which is around 130, instead of the Rakuten minus 182 on the money line. So my official play will be over 4.5 team total for the Rakuten Eagles. Hayoto Yuge is going up against Kona Takahashi. This matchup was the matchup that was supposed to be played 2 nights ago when there was a rain out. Now the same matchup going in this one as well. We had the same thing. We said the Rakuten Eagles would win with Hayoto Yuge on the mound, 2.89 ERA, 2-1 on the season. Yuge has a 3.48 ERA throughout his career. Takahashi has a 4.51 career ERA for the Sea Blue Lions, and he's allowed 11 runs on 19 hits in 17.1 innings with a 1.5 whip. I love Rakuten here to score enough runs for the over 4.5 team total, which is an official play.
Yeah, let me just rewind just one game, and we've got the Hawks. Basically, we've got Dustin Beard saying the Hawks team total over 4.5. I think we like that, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think we like the Hawks to get 5 runs or more. So there's that. I'll tell you what, the boys in the chat and the ladies, they're starting to think that they're comedians. I mean, we've got the Philly Sports Passion saying, who would win between the Buffaloes or the Eagles in KBO? It'll probably be a 0-0 draw. 0-0, nothing. Don't go near any of them unless you're fading them, Philly. Okay, the last one in the Pacific Division is going to be the Fighters and the Marines. I tell you what, it's like one day we'd be on the Fighters, another day we'd be on the Marines. I suppose over 10, it'll probably be 6-4 in the Fighters' favour. Would you agree, Jay?
Yeah, I would say so. I think the Marines are clearly the better team when you're looking at these two teams in comparison. But right now, the Nippon Fighters have Drew Verhagen on the mound. Verhagen has a 4.41 ERA, 11 runs, just 8 earned, though. So he's allowed 3 runs that have been unearned runs, 16 strikeouts and 4 walks. He's also allowed 4 home runs. But throughout his career, he hasn't really been a home run guy. So I believe that his home run rate will go down after these first 3 games. Going up against Sayaki Iwashita, Iwashita has looked really good in his first 2 games of the season, a 1.69 ERA, just allowed 2 earned runs, 3 runs on the season, 8 strikeouts, and 1 walk. But if you look at his career numbers, he's performing so much better than he normally would have throughout his career. So, yeah, I think he's going to regress at some point, and this game might be the game going up against Drew Verhagen, who's definitely the better pitcher in this matchup. So the Nippon Fighters they're plus 112 on the money line. This is a lean for me, but the Nippon Fighters have the better pitcher on the mound, and if Verhagen can do what he does best, is strike out hitters, not walk any batters, and limit his hits, which he hasn't done in the first 3 games. If he can limit the hits, he'll have a solid outing and give the Fighters a chance to win this game. So I like the Fighters as an underdog in this one at plus 112. I'd also even look at under 7.5 in this matchup with 2 solid pitchers on the mound in this one.
Yeah, and I also sniff an in-play hedge bet. I mean, you get in your plus 112 early on. If they're in front, then you're going to get more than plus 112 on the other side of the fence. Andrew Smith just says, Flash. Oh, how do I respond to that, Andrew? How do I respond to that? Okay, let's go official plays, please, in the Pacific Division of the NPB. And another thing I'd like to say, just give you a little pat on the back, Jay. The Japanese, it's like overtaking your Korean.
Yeah, it's getting fun now. We're finally starting to figure out the NPB, which is fun.
No, your pronunciation of the players.
There you go. Yeah, so we're going to go with SoftBank minus 1.5 at minus 125. Again, I thought someone said about the over 4.5. That's around minus 135 for me, so I like the SoftBank minus 1.5 at minus 120, minus 125. Get a little bit better odds there. So that's why I'm on SoftBank at minus 1.5 instead of the team total. But I do like that play as well. Also, looking at the Rakuten Eagles at over 4.5 in their team total. Those are the 2 official plays in the Pacific.
Excellent. Let's get on to the Central now then. And we've got the Carp and the Giants. The Carp are quickly getting into that category for me of the Buffaloes and the Hanwha Eagles in the KBO. Please don't tell me it's Carp and Giants. I don't really want you anywhere near the fish.
Yeah, no, I'm going right with the Giants. I think the Giants could actually win, get a sweep over the Carp, even on the road. The Giants had an amazing outing. This morning, had a great game, went out to an early 11-0 lead. Didn't get my under because Chris Johnson pitched poorly, although Tsuyoshi Togo pitched well. I read that half-half. I was perfect on one side, not perfect on the other side. It is what it is. We still have 5 other wins on the board this morning. So, but I do like the Giants at minus 157. I even look at over 4.5 for the Giants in their team total. Christopher Carrizo-Stamo for the Giants has a 4.11 ERA in 3 games started this season, has allowed 17 hits in 15.1 innings, 7 earned runs, 4 home runs, 13 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Again, he's kind of just like how we were talking about for Hagen. The guy will get a lot of strikeouts, minimize walks, and minimize home runs. However, this season so far, he hasn't minimized home runs. So I think, again, he'll be able to regress and not let up home runs, especially against the Carp team that's struggling offensively right now at home, which is a little concerning. And then Kazuki Yabuda going for Hiroshima Carp. He's a relief pitcher. He's pitched in 5 games this season, 5.1 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 3 strikeouts, and 1 walk. So he's looked good in relief, but going back into a starter's role is going to be a little bit different. He won't be able to last long. You'll see the Hiroshima Carp bullpen in at least 4 innings in this one, if not more. So I like the Giants at minus 157 as an official play. Again, like I said, I'd look at the over 4.5 for their team total as well for the Giants. going up against the Hiroshima bullpen that has been a little shaky recently.
Yeah, listen, I don't mind you saying about the Carp, and it's a little bit concerning about their offence. We're fading them. We don't want them to have any offence. So it's not concerning. It's great. So listen, we'll just keep fading the fish. Here we've got basically they're saying the Eagles, the Hawks. Oh, they want me to give my banker. The best I've heard so far is the Rakuten Eagles team total over 4.5, but that could definitely change, Jay. And listen, it's not my job to be giving them out. My job is just to sort of mould and then deliver. Okay, so Tigers and the Swallows is the next game, Jay.
Yeah, this game we had the over in the last game. I would lean towards over in this one. But what I saw was interesting is Hanshin over 3.5 in their team total. And then Hanshin's also underdogs at around plus 106. Well, Hanshin's going up against Taiji Takahashi of the Swallows. Takahashi is 5-7 with a career ERA of 5.31. He averages 10 strikeouts per 9 innings, but also averages 5 walks per 9 innings. So he's very erratic. And if Hanshin, if you just close your eyes, you might come up with a couple runs for Hanshin. 3.5 seems like nothing, especially in a game that went over this morning with both teams scoring more than 3 runs in that game as well. So, I look at over 3.5 for Hanshin and over 8 in the game. Hanshin at plus 106. Through all leans with Kenichi Nakata on the mound for Hanshin. 6.75 ERA in 1 game this season, 4 innings, 7 hits and 3 runs, 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. But this is Nakata's first season with Hanshin, and he has a career ERA of 3.73. So a guy with a 3.73 ERA, that's an underdog, versus a guy with a 5.31 career ERA. I like Hanshin at plus 106 if I were to lean.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, the over 3.5 looks screaming bet. 2 games ago, they hit 6. So, I mean, listen, they could go over 3.5 in an absolute canter. So, yeah, I mean, I'm liking that one, the Hanshin Tigers. Team total over 3.5. Now, the bottom one is the Dragon and the Baystars. We've hit the post with this game, to be fair. Can we fill it out, or are we going to leave it, Jay?
Yeah, I'm not going to make an official play on this one because I've seen a trend with the Dragon, with the Baystars. They've won and lost with every game, the last 16 games. The one loss. That's been the trend. So the Baystars would be supposed to win this game if you saw that trend. However, I do like the Dragons here at minus 109 as slight favorites, or they might be basically back to even now in this matchup. Yuichiro Okano is going on the mound for the Dragons. His rookie pitcher, who hasn't really performed really well this season, but we've seen how he's performed in a bigger stage. He played for Japan in a little tournament. It's like the World Baseball Classic or something like that. And he pitched really well in that series. So I think he's going to figure it out eventually. I just don't know when. That's why I'm going to stay away from this game. But I know Okano, he's a young pitcher. He has some good stuff, striking out 9 batters per 9 innings, but also walked 6 batters in 3 games, allowed 11 runs, 10 earned. Going up against Ko Nakagawa of the Baystars, who has a 12 ERA in 1 game this season. So he just lasted 3 innings, allowed 4 runs on 2 hits, allowed 2 home runs, and 2 walks with just one strikeout. So I look at the over 8 as a lean as well. Dragons at minus 109, but it's a lean for me.
Yeah, I don't think there's any need to get involved in the game. I think it's a little bit looking ahead. We've got the Baystars going up against the Giants in the next series. Sit back. Yeah. The Giants will absolutely whoomp them all around the park. So just sit back, save your money on the Baystars, and we'll fade them come tomorrow's show. So listen, there's some great matchups in the KBO. We've got like the Dinos, the Eagles, and we've got the Twins. I fancy all 3 of them could go 3-0, Jay. Now, give me your official plays in the Central Division, please. And then I'll start having a chat with the boys and girls in the chat.
Yeah, so we're going to look at the Yomiuri Giants at minus 157. But if you want also my banker, it's definitely the under first 5 in the Handle Eagles KT Wiz game. I love the under 5 at minus 115. That's the banker of the day for me. I love that one.
And okay, no problem at all. I'm liking the Eagles team total Over 4.5 at minus 130. I expect it to probably be minus 150, although a lot of people, they like to fade all my selections. Now listen, if you've liked this video as much as I have, and the people in the chat, and obviously we appreciate you watching on Facebook Live, then please subscribe, press the button, and ring the bell. Ring the bell means that we will then notify you of any of our content, and also if you press the link in the description, that will take you to Jay's articles, and there'll be something different wrote. Rather than him speaking, he will write something a little bit different that will just encourage you and maybe give you a different view. Listen, it's been great. Jay, let's continue this. Let's absolutely continue this. I hope you get your 200 thumbs up. We've already got 51, so I think you're going to set records today, to be honest. There's record people watching. Jay, have a great night. Everyone in the chat, parlays, bankers, leans. That means parlay, bankers or officials. You all take care, and we'll see you tomorrow with a fresh set of games. Take care.